Hola clase, ¿cómo están ustedes? Hoy vamos a hablar sobre los irregular yos. These should be a review from Español Uno, but in case they're not, we're going to go back over them. You're going to get the information again. Maybe just a little bit of a refresher is what we need. First, we need to think about what verbs are irregular in the present tense. Hopefully right now you guys are thinking of some. We're going to start with go verbs. Go verbs are really easy because they're exactly what they say they are. They end in a go. So the big reason that we use go verbs is because the pronunciation, if we left it regular, would be really, really weird and not easy to pronounce at all. So if I conjugated hacer and I didn't use a go verb, I would be saying yo hago, which hopefully you guys are looking at that and thinking that doesn't sound right, that doesn't look right, because it's not. So we're going to say yo hago. Hacer means to do or to make. So yo hago means I do or I make. So with poner, to put, yo pongo. To leave, I leave is yo salgo. Traer is to bring. Yo traigo. Guys, keep in mind that this E changes because the E needs to change to an I to keep pronunciation the same. It's not technically a stem changer, but it kind of functions like one because we need to change it, the E to the I to keep the pronunciation. Guys, if we said yo, there would be no way to pronounce that correctly. So to keep the sound from traer to traigo, we need to change it to an I. Okay, now we're going to move on to go stem changes. Only one go verb stem changes. The other ones that usually stem change are going to be normal, which is kind of nice. Decir is usually an E to I. This is the one that changes. So instead of saying yo digo, we say yo digo. And that means to say or to tell. Venir, to come, is usually an E to IE, but we keep it normal for yo vengo. So it's going to be ella viene, but yo vengo. Tener is E to IE, as you guys hopefully know, and this should be easy. It changes to yo tengo, but keep in mind that ella is tiene, so it does stem change in the other forms. It just doesn't stem change in the go form. So decir is the only go verb with a stem change. So in review, we have hacer, yo hago, poner, yo pongo, salir, yo salgo, traer, yo traigo. Decir is the only one with a stem change, and it's yo digo. Venir, yo vengo. Tener, yo tengo. Next, we're moving on to something that might be a little bit more difficult. They are what I call irregular irregulars. This means that they don't really have a pattern that they follow, at least with go verbs. They all end in go, so that's kind of an easy little pattern to follow. But with this, conocer is yo conozco. And this means to know or to be familiar with. Dar, yo doy, to give. Saber, yo sé, to know. This is to know a fact or to know how to do something. And then ver, to see, yo veo. Guys, the reason that these have irregular yo forms is simply because there's no earthly way to conjugate these correctly if we just follow our normal conjugation patterns. Because yo conozco doesn't sound right. We want to keep that conocer sound, so we change it to a Z to keep that sound. If we tried to conjugate dar normally or ver, it would be do and vo, which absolutely is not right. And yo sabo doesn't sound right either, so we use say. Guys, this shouldn't be too difficult for you, but please be taking notes. That way you get it in your brain and you can practice it. Okay, now we are going to move on to a practice. Go ahead and pause, and then we will move on with the answers. The answers will be on the next slide. So do your best to try to do these yourself, and then we'll move on to the next slide and you can see where you went wrong or where you went right. So go ahead and press pause. Okay, what I've done for you guys is I've color-coded between the sentences, so hopefully you can see where everything goes and you can see where you're making your mistakes. So I make the coat, yo hago el abrigo. So that should have been pretty easy for you. I put on myself. So this is coming from the verb ponerse, like ponerse la ropa, to put on clothes. So I put on is going to be reflexive. So pongo is I put on, but we need to put the me in front. So me ponga la falda floja. Remember, adjectives are going to come after our nouns. So falda, skirt, floja, loose. I have 2 striped boots. Yo tengo 2 botas de rayas. I come to the jewelry store. Ooh, that should be jewelry store. Lo siento. I come to the jewelry store to buy those plaid suits. Yo vengo a la joyería para comprar esos trajes de cuadros. Esos is going to be a review. That's demonstratives. Para is in order to. And we just keep to buy in the infinitive form. Comprar. So, pretty easy. I give you the striped bracelets. So you is going to be our direct object. It's who we're directly affecting by giving something. So the yo is optional. Te doy, I give you, la pulsera de rayas. So the striped bracelet. There's another option. You could have put el brazalete de rayas. That's fine as well, as long as you know one of them and you're sticking with it. I don't really mind. So go ahead and look at your mistakes, figure out what you're doing wrong. Please write down any questions you have so that we can go over them in class. That's the point of this, so that you get a little background. When you come to class, you're ready to go, okay? If you need more practice, if you are still struggling, please see page 164 of your book, activity número 2. And if you're still struggling after that, make sure you bring your questions to class. I would love to answer them for you. Adios, que tengas un buen día, and have a great day.